Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Talking Martelli. Another beautiful episode, another beautiful Tuesday afternoon here in Pensacola. If you're here, obviously, you know it's not beautiful. It's a little rainy outside, but we're going to be happy and cheery, even though it's a little bit drizzly out here.
We treat it as a hot, great 75 and sunny day on a rainy day. Every day.
Every day it's beautiful and sunny here in Florida. So we were supposed to bring on today as a special guest, Seth.
And I know everybody was excited about it.
Man, it was
such
the
a wonderful
first time.
person.
If you have not seen or know anything about Seth, if you go to our previous episode, I want to say it's episode 6, maybe.
Yeah, it'll say Seth Heckler.
It'll say Seth
Heckler on there. You'll see it. Great episode, and we didn't even get it through enough. And that's why we wanted him on again.
We'll have to have him on 2 or 3 more times. But I will tell you, he called a little while ago. Actually, texted. He said, "Dave," he said, "my wife is in the hospital. It's an emergency thing." He said, "Tell everybody I love them, and I want to come on so badly. Today just not going to work out. We're all exhausted." He said, "I just can't do it." And I said, "Listen, anybody that knows Martelli, family's first.
Family first. Prayers out there, and if y'all don't mind sending one his way, also for David's mother-in-law too. So I mean, I know Tori went to go pick her up, and
man, what a long weekend in hospital. So my mother-in-law, we could certainly use some prayers for her too. My mother-in-law has a hole in her heart, and she was in there all last Thursday and last Friday, and then she stopped breathing twice. And it's I love my mother-in-law. I love all my in-laws. They're amazing people. I love my in-laws like I love my mom and dad. We're all very close. So
good people. They're great people. And
been
it's
a
good
tough
to have
week. Yep. So prayers for Diana Hemby, which is my mother-in-law, and also for Seth Hackler's wife. I don't know her name, but we call her Miss Hackler.
We call her Seth Hackler's wife.
Yeah, Seth Hackler's wife is good. So okay.
Seth, just know we're thinking about you, buddy. We miss you. We'll get you back on soon.
For sure. Okay, really quickly, let's cover a few things. I know this weekend is double the points on the website. So hold on, let's turn this volume down. Really quickly, let's cover a few things. I know this. All right, sorry about that, folks. The volume was a little loud. We have double the points on Martelli Enterprises. Martelli Notions.
Oh, that's right.
A lot of great products. Anytime you get double the points, that's always fantastic, because when you get double the points, man,
it's double the points.
I'm buying twice as much.
That's right.
More points I get, the double.
The more you spend, the double you get. Yeah. So why not take advantage of that? And I know there's some really good deals out there anyway, so you might as well get double the points, double the rewards.
Yeah, think about it. Like if you're pulling up at a gas pump, man, I'm getting gas.
That's right.
Instead of getting $10, if I'm getting double points, I'm going to go ahead and fill my tank up.
That's right.
You know?
They got that app now, that Upside or something app that I use every time, and every time I go in, they give me like 5 or 6, 7 cents back, and they give me the rewards for it. So why not take the rewards?
Absolutely. So a lot of exciting things happening here at Martelli's storefront too. A lot of things that we're talking about doing, and one of the things that we are talking about doing is really concentrating on our social media. We have we've done a few interviews here, and we have a few people that are really good with social media. And Brian and I, as good looking as I am and as smart as Brian is, we just don't.
Well, wait, what?
Oh, did you catch that?
Yeah.
I said as good looking as I am and as old as you are.
You said as smart as I was. That caught me off guard, because I was smartly.
Because you weren't concentrating on the good looking.
I was wanting the good looks, not the smarts.
But long story short,
we're
working on some exciting stuff there. We're going to get a little bit more digitally enhanced on our lives, where we're going to get you a lot more involved. So some of the comments, and working on comments sold, it just, when you don't have the staff, it just takes a little bit more time than you typically would like it to take. But at the end of the day, the end result is what we're all shooting for, and we want it to be right,
and
Brian?
That's all that matters is what they get to see. And we all do this for you guys. And like, we wanted Seth on. We wanted to talk some sewing and quilting on a budget. We wanted that. So obviously Seth's got priorities to do. So when that happens and we can transition into a different subject, why not talk about what we're trying to do for y'all? Yeah. I mean, that's the best way to do it.
One of the things that we were really trying to do on Talking Martelli too, one of the things that we are doing, not trying to, one of the things that we are doing there's so many people out there across the country that I love Martelli products. I use them for everything, and I have a big following. I have a group that have, and you'll know by some of the names that we have coming up, but there's some people, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 followers that love our product. But let's be realistic here at the end of the day, right? If you're selling, if you have a YouTube or a Facebook channel and you have a huge following, and you have, let's say you have a Martelli rotary cutter, and let's say you have a different off-name rotary cutter, right? And you have a chance to be an affiliate and to make money by selling the best product on the market. At the end of the day, we know unfortunately the world works about making money. So you have these affiliate comes on. Well, sometimes even though they use the Martelli and they like the Martelli better, they'll use the other brand in the photos and tell people how much they like it because they make money on it.
That's right.
So one of the things that we really try to concentrate and focus on is our affiliate program.
That's right.
And it's a time-consuming thing. It just takes
it's
time.
finding the right people, the right group, and we also, just like everybody talks about how great we are in our customer service and all that stuff, you know, you have to go out there and pick the right people. You can't just get anybody. David knows that because, I mean, it's kind of a vetting process.
We've tried that before.
That's right. And, you know, sometimes it bites you in the butt. And we want the right people for y'all, and we want the right people to help educate us on different things, and then they can cross promote it with us. Yeah. And that's what we're trying to do.
Well, that was kind of the idea.
Yeah.
So if you haven't noticed, we did a show with Becca probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
And we did a show. She invited us on. We did a show with her, and it turned out so positive.
It was fantastic.
So great. So she's coming on in a few months. But the point being is, and I can't wait for her. And I think Michelle's going to come on too. Well, Stephanie. I think Stephanie's going to come on with her too.
Good. They were so much fun.
We got to banter back and forth, especially bringing their mom on. But the point is, so Becca, listen how I found her. It was kind of a unique experience. So I'm surfing, and you know my time's always so busy with Martelli Quilters Group, or the Martelli Facebook, or the Martelli storefront, or talking about the long arm. So one day, I get very little time as it is. I'm scrolling, and I saw this big personality, and she was talking about Martelli. I'm like, wow, she's good. And then it hit me. I'm like,
crazy how you come across that. You just saw that out of the blue. Like, that's awesome.
And then she reached out and she was telling me. She goes, "Yeah, I was telling Stephanie." She goes, "Can you believe Martelli reached out to me?" And I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, "Can you believe this?
So Becca reached out to
somebody
you?
who like Martelli like this?"
Yes.
Point being is, if you're out there and you have a big following and you want to be on Talking Martelli, we would love to have you, because this is all about cross promotion at the end of the day. You know, when I first started Martelli Quilters Group, you know, I was kind of like, man, we got to be careful where we send people. We're trying to get people to gather stuff, but then the further we went along, there's so many talented people out there. Why we want to be able to pass that talent around, right?
That's right.
We want everybody to know. If Brian Jordan's good, we want everybody to know that Brian Jordan's good, and then return to Brian Jordan on his group.
Returns that, hey, look, I want you back to return the favor, and that's what it is. It's kind of it's not. I don't like saying give and take.
Yeah.
It's a give.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's a great way to say it.
It's give.
So the whole sewing, quilting, and crafting community can be part of what we're trying to do. And listen, this wasn't planned for today. We had Seth Hackler.
That's right. We had a whole program board. So we're flying by the. We're flying by just what we love to do, and we
just
can
talk, right?
Yeah, we can talk all daggum day.
And we had it, you know, we originally had it planned where we could go over a lot of stuff, but instead of just canceling the show and say, hey guys, you know, let's pray for Seth. Okay, have a nice day. Brian and I discussed it and said, no, you know what? Let's go ahead and go through with the show.
Yeah.
And let's bring our one of our new employees on.
Our new head marketing director.
Yeah, he's really, really good, especially when it comes to social media things. And he has a lot of plans for all of you, especially for the fabric sales and
brilliant mind.
Yeah. So we definitely want to bring him on and ask him a few questions. And if you're watching right now, right, I have a few people on YouTube, and Dave is monitoring Facebook.
Yeah. Questions, please.
Yeah,
always.
Yeah.
And if you remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification button so that you always know when we're coming on. But we're waiting.
Without further ado, right? Without further ado, come on in. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We love having you. Kidding me?
Awesome.
Welcome.
Lawyer, welcome, sir.
How you doing? My name's Frank.
Doing good.
Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
And everybody believes that. Believe me,
awesome,
Frank the Tank.
Awesome.
So introduce yourself.
Lawyer here.
Go ahead. Introduce yourself, Lawyer, please.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. I am a lawyer, the name you know. I'm not an attorney, it's just a family name. But I'm just happy to be here.
Well,
absolutely.
We love having you.
Absolutely.
So tell them a little bit about...
Let me take these glasses off because I see a reflection here.
You look good either way.
Right. Thank you.
So tell everybody a little bit about what you do and some of the things that we are trying to do collectively together to make their experience more pleasurable, and some of the things that we could possibly do to do what we're all trying to do and make it
and your
a better
role
thing.
as like our head marketing director. I mean, that's we've been looking for a a long time. I mean, and hadn't found the right person, and then you came in and
absolutely
wooed us.
Yes. Absolutely. It's the right thing at the right time.
Yes.
Yes.
And typically, whenever you're trying to build something, that's kind of what you're looking for. So you have so many people that do the right thing at the wrong time, or they do the wrong thing sometimes at the right time, prematurely, of
They
course.
want something so bad that anything will do right then.
Do you get it?
That's right.
So I like to have a different approach. So I like to look at the numbers. I like to look at the data. I like to listen to the audience, of course. And because to me, of course, it's more about the moments in between moments. So if you think back on your greatest memory, you don't necessarily focus on that thing that you did. It's that journey up until that point that kind of locks you into that experience. It sits in the cerebral, of course, and then you can manifest it in the physical type thing. So
I love that.
I already know where Brian's going.
You
but-
know
Right.
that dash.
The
That dash
of
in
course.
between when you were born and when you died. It's that moment in between of how you did that. So
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that.
Absolutely. And when we have the right components, of course, then that's when the chemistry, that's when the rubber meets the road, so to speak. And so we like to focus on that. So hopefully the plan, of course, is to implement these tools combined with what y'all are already doing. You guys are awesome. I've watched some of your videos.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen how the audience actually responds to you. And all you need now is someone to come in that can assist you. If that makes sense.
And we need assistance.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, the thing is that you have different models of everything that's out there. So it's not saying that anything has been badly done.
Right.
It's just basically saying that once you've reached a level where you're wanting more, then you can't do the same thing over and over again expecting different results.
No, you get the same results.
Isn't that insanity?
Yeah.
So so that's kind of what we're looking at, but I'm excited to be here.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And here's the thing. One of the things that we have, for any of you that don't know Jimmy, well, everybody knows Jimmy now. We
Yeah.
love Jimmy so much, man, and I am going to miss Jimmy tremendously. And I'm going to make sure that Jimmy stops in from time to time, at least pop his head in. But having somebody full time on staff, see, we didn't pay Jimmy and Mr. Dave and all them. We didn't pay them to take the time to do some of the things that we needed done. They strictly came in and they were to air us from time A to time B.
That's right.
So now we have somebody in house that can put the proper thing in the proper place, right? Give us some of that digital imagery that we need, whether it be a lot number or you might crumple it up and take it in the trash can. Well, I mean, it's fun and all, but that's not necessarily
a pop-up comment.
Yeah. That's not necessarily what everybody. The wave of the future is not going back to manual. It's going back to to digital. And Brian and I kind of regress. Well, look what I have to work with right here.
I mean, look what
look at this guy I got to work with right here. You know I'm going to go backwards with him. Not that guy. Hold on. Wait for the camera change.
You gotta wait for
that guy.
Gotta wait for it to catch up.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not talking about that 20-minute lag, but no, seriously, we have a really good team here. I have not been more excited for the future than I have been in the last few days. Just have somebody on scene full time to be able to help Brian and myself. And Brian and I will tell you, we're not the brightest candles on the candle shed rack. So
well, I mean, I'm one. Yeah.
He might be one lumen. He might be one lumen brighter. But
what is it? No, luminaire is.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No,
they know what a luminaire is.
No, a lumen is the measurement, light measurement between.
Oh, I thought it was one of the Mike and Ike colors.
Yeah, that too. That
okay.
too. Yeah. But anyway, that's what we're trying to do. So, Lori, let's talk about some of these ideas, right? So, one of the things that we talked about, and I have mentioned this before, and I'm going to share this experience with you. So, there's a group out there. It's a media outlet that is not mainstream media. For me, Dave Martelli, personally, I like to get alternative media. So I go to this one alternative media website, and they have 60,000 people. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I do this for a living, right? And I like to see all these comments. So they're like, okay, where are you from? So I put my name down, and I keep pushing enter. So it comes up until they finally say my name. I'm like, if I get this excited and I get this pumped up about somebody seeing my name for 50, 60,000 people, I'm like, our people are missing out on so much. We're not involving them. So, Lawyer, and I'll let you talk about this too, but one of the Lawyer things that he's like, man, you got to get them involved. Put their name up there. Put their graphic up there. Show them who they are. Let's integrate their questions so everybody can be part of it. And I was like, you know what? That's absolutely brilliant. So you talk to that, if you don't mind, a little bit, Lawyer.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to start with is by saying that what y'all were able to accomplish up until this point is astounding. Okay, so, and it was working, of course, and it is working. But all we're wanting to do is just add a little bit more todayness to what's going on, and to free you up to be able to focus more on maybe that product and so forth, so you can really answer the questions that someone might have. And so we want to integrate the experience that you were doing verbally and just kind of put it in more of a visual kind of way for you.
There may be questions that we miss. Like David and I can only catch so much.
So much.
And I know Jimmy did a bang up job of trying to get as much as he could get in there too. But you know, he's controlling everything, all this stuff. But man, when you are able to pop it up on the screen, and it forces us to kind of like look at it, we're going to be able to answer that person directly and get that answer that they want. Then.
And those milliseconds are
they matter.
Key.
They matter. For example, so Miss Katrina said, who do I contact for product idea, right? So Miss Katrina, if you're watching this right now and it's something that you want to develop, it will all depend. I'm going to tell you if it's template related, there's somebody you can reach out with. If it's a product that you want to design, reach out to me, and then I'll get with my dad. Anybody that's watching already knows my number, but it's 850-512-2222.
Hey, Amy.
If it's a template, I'm going to put you in touch with Shane, who does our template design. So. It depends. When you say, who do I reach out for product? If it's a product, it will be me. If it's template, I will put you in
to the right person. Just get with Dave and he'll get you to the right person, whether it be for
there you go. There you go.
Eileen, when is the special website coming online?
Yeah, so this is a lawyer question. Lawyer, please, if you don't mind.
And Laura's getting his team around him, right?
Right, of course. We're putting the right pieces, where they need to be, and we're also doing some A/B testing as well, so we can run the numbers on option A and run the numbers on option B. And of course, if everything is polling well with your audience, because we don't want to lose your base.
Right.
Of course, we just want to strengthen what you've already been doing up until this point, and have an opportunity to expose you to audiences that care about what you do, but don't know you exist. Because you guys have great chemistry and everything. So
in our audience,
let's let that
they can do to like, comment, and share. But we got to get to the new people who can like, comment, and share too.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we'll let that be a to be continued type thing. However, we're really excited moving forward on what we're going to accomplish by listening to what you've already been doing, but just kind of beefing up the production aspect of it and taking what the chemistry y'all have and translating that into a visual that someone can access 24 hours a day.
And
absolutely.
David, don't know how to do that.
Right, absolutely.
I will tell you this, and this is one of the things that the dumb things that we get excited about. So one of the things that I have to say that I sat down and I talked with Lloyd. When we first sat down and we talked about some things, one of the things that came up with the Martelli Quilters Group, we have 7,000 people on there, and I love y'all so much. Some of the stuff you put on there, I was sitting there bragging, trying to spit all out, and I was talking so fast. He's like, whoa, slow down, man. He's like, you got to show me these things. So I bring him on Martelli Quilters Group, and we're going down, and I'm scrolling down, and I'm showing him some of these projects. Whether there was some from Amy Zeller's on there, there was some from Diana Boynton on there. I'm not going to mention names because what will happen is I'll forget 9,000 names that was on there, so I shouldn't even mention those names. But incredibly talented people. You know who you are when you're on there. And then, so he's like, well, Dave, can you show me some of the activity that you and Brian were doing? And I'm showing him pictures where I'm over and I'm taking snapshot of my toes. And
my feet are in
and
there.
He's laughing and he's like, man, this is great. Your vision is great. But let's take that vision and put it into something that's more... what's the word that I want to look for without knocking us?
Creative and professional.
Yeah, more. Let's show them something with a little bit more creativity and with a little bit more professionalism. And he said, with this
clarity too, because I mean we're trying to hurry up so much, David, to get this out.
We want the next product.
We know what we want to say.
You're just really excited about it.
Yeah.
We know, like, you're great with writing down and getting words out there. And I'm not great at that at all. I can't put words. You can't give me something. I'm great with just throw on live and let me figure out what I need to say.
Yeah.
Let me out of the cage.
Yeah.
But so that's where he's able to cage us a little
together,
bit.
if that's possible.
I don't know, but he sees where your creative mind wants to be, and I think he can implement it in a crystal clear way for our viewers. Is that kind of...
Absolutely. And that's the main thing. It doesn't matter how great you do something. If someone can't interpret it properly in their way or get the message the way that you're trying to convey it, then we missed the mark.
That's right.
And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we hit that mark every single time. And that's really what we're trying to do.
And Lawyer, I will tell you, thus far has been the Picasso of the the
Van
the
Gogh
overall experience. Yeah, the Van Gogh of the overall experience of what platforms that Brian and I are working together. And he's thrown out so many good ideas, and Brian and I are so excited just to implement these, and we want to see the first one to come to fruition, because I think as we see that first one develop and as we see the response and the feedback from everybody, and they're like, wow, and the color, and from my understanding, the color has to be just right, the angle has to be right with pictures and everything, and I'm standing over a product, taking a picture, and my toes are hanging in there, and it's just...
no, it's usually my toes because I'm holding the product taking a picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're gonna get a little bit more serious about this. And we love our audience to the core back, and I think
shows.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the main reasons why when we have our fabric sales, we have our diehards show up. They love Brian and I, and we love them, and we have a lot of banter back and forth, and we have a good time, and we get to poke. But that's 6 hours out of your day, where you can just forget about all your problems in the world. It goes away, and we can just have a really good time together. And that's one of the ththings that I know I appreciate. Every single Thursday, you'll get to experience.
I look forward to Tuesdays. I look forward to Thursdays, and even in the inner time. Laura, you got a chance to see what's going on behind the scenes now. Like, it's an all-day thing. Like, I was about 5 minutes before I came on here. I'm helping someone pick out colors for their husband to make her one of her first quilts, and I was just trying to help and then I had to, talk about.
You're rolling right into the next moment. Absolutely.
The in between moments,
right there. The in between moments, absolutely.
So I mean, and that's just.
And we want to show you all that.
Yeah.
See, we don't want you to miss out on those opportunities.
And so what we're trying to do is what we're going to do in the future, I think, and hopefully capture these
in the
unscripted moments.
Capture in the moment.
Somebody helping out somebody, and it may answer something that you want to know, and you didn't even know.
Absolutely. We call that BTS in the industry. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
behind the scenes.
I was going to say acronym. What is that? Give me that acronym.
I can make up an acronym. Love you, Nicole. Anyway.
But a lot of good things, exciting things happening. We've had our media room done now for probably about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and we really haven't done anything with it. Number one, because we want to make sure the cable's in the right settings, and we don't want to be knocked off anymore, 5 or 6 times. And so we're just making sure that we have somebody here full time. And listen, this is not a knock on Jimmy Sims or Dave, and Dave's actually behind the camera today. And listen, these guys, they cut us a huge break to come in here and film us just for the time allotment they produce TV shows. Okay, they don't do live events. For them to stop doing what they're doing to help the Martelli company out has been huge. But now we have a next piece of the puzzle.
They're still working on the reality show there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And see, that's the thing. Everybody in life has a specialty. I know for me, one of the greatest assets that I bring to Martelli is the product knowledges and the features and the benefits to all of our products, right? But if you ask me to make sure that I have an email list and I'm emailing everybody big back and forth, hold your breath, wait by the mailbox. That's not what I'm good at.
Oh, no. Throw a message in the bottle.
Yeah, the message in the bottle.
My smoke signal's coming to you here in a second.
S-O-S, right? So,
is that really it?
No.
Oh, okay.
But it looked like it was.
I didn't know.
I had you fooled, brother.
Come over there and help you.
So we all have our special talents, and one of the exciting things is we have somebody now that this is the language, this is what they do, this is their cup of tea, and with Laura's thought process. Hey, Dave, I need you to do this. Brian, I need you to do this. You do this. I will do this, this, and this. We need you to bring your enthusiasm, your energy, your product knowledge every day, day in and day out. And if you don't have it that day, make a switch and turn it on.
See, David and I grew up playing sports probably 24/7 out of our younger life, right? I mean, just all day, every day, being coached, and getting, when you brought out what did you call the progression, or what did you call the
milestones?
The milestones.
Absolutely.
It opened up for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I get it. So that little bit of, hey, I need you here, I need you there, and I need you here, and I need you here, or this there, or that there, or this, or this is what we can do here, this, that, and the other. That's a little coaching to me, and being coached all my life. That's what I need. I need Dave and I, we need to be pushed. And when you push us, we are so
here's the thing.
competitive that we want to be, when that competitiveness, what that is going straight towards y'all to be the best we can be.
Well, I have the perfect comment that was just made based off exactly what you're just saying.
Yeah.
Miss Elaine Costello just said, I love the fabric sales. They have helped me get my sewing mojo back.
See,
that's awesome.
That's kind of in the same
Sue
line.
Ellen.
Hey, Miss Sue Ellen Quilts, great to see you today. But that's kind of what we're talking about, right? We have to bring this this energy every day. It doesn't matter how we feel.
Day in and day out.
Day in and day out.
Look, there's been times when Dave has not been good. I remember at the time when his dad was in the hospital, he was a wreck, a rambling wreck, and then it comes on. I didn't know if I was going to live or die one day because I felt so bad.
Oh man, I didn't think you were going to make it.
And then when it comes on, all we think about is y'all.
And
That's it. If it's like we said, ever seen Over the Top?
Turn the hat backwards.
Oh,
absolutely.
That's awesome.
It's showtime.
It's like a truck.
Yep.
When the lights come on, the lights come on.
It is funny because there'll be shows where where I don't feel well or Brian doesn't feel well, and we'll look at each other, and it's that chemistry that you form over a long period of time with someone. It's like playing basketball with somebody. You know where they're going to be before they know they're going to be, and then you get the ball to them. But there's so many analogies.
Dave knew where everybody was.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
That was my sport. That was my sport. That was really good.
That's awesome. Well, I do appreciate y'all having me on, and it's a pleasure being introduced to you all. I look forward to seeing you many more times.
Yeah.
High fives, all the good stuff.
Oh, it's gonna be so much.
Absolutely.
I can't wait. I'm super pumped, and I will tell you, but there's that time where the times that we don't feel well, we can look at one another and say, hey, there's that switch. Exit stage left.
Absolutely.
Man. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. See y'all
we sure
next
do
time.
love you, brother.
All right.
Appreciate you, man.
He's only going to the other side of the room to get to.
He's like, Dave, you don't understand how much I have to do. So I was like, okay, we got you. But I did want to bring him on. Brian and I talked with my mom, and my mom wanted to bring mom. My mom wanted to introduce everybody because she wants everybody to be a critical part of what we're doing over here. And listen, this is what I always stop, Brian. I don't know what you think about this, but if you have, let's say you have 3 people in a room, right, and you're brainstorming, and all those 3 people have similar ideas but different, or if you have 10 people in a room, similar but different, how many more ideas are you going to get? How many more better ideas are you going to get with 10 with 3, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's critical thinking.
Yeah, it's a think tank.
Yeah,
It's a think box, right?
Hey, if you've got great ideas coming in, let's get all the ideas and let's pick up what's going to work best for us.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Lori had mentioned to me. He said, Dave, have you ever polled your audience? I'm thinking poll. I'm like, pole vault, or what kind of poll you talking about? He's like,
poll?
no,
Yeah, no.
Get them involved. Ask them questions. I'm like, I don't even know how to ask. It's like I can barely turn to. I know where my strong suit is. Like when somebody tells me to turn on Facebook Live, I'm like, oh, how do you do that? I figured that out. It took me a couple weeks, but I figured it out.
Poll, which one is better looking?
Yeah.
Well, hey,
which one's better looking?
Dave, we know who's winning that one. Thank you,
hurt.
everybody, in advance. I appreciate every one of you.
I already know Brian's better looking. I've heard it from everybody. So we're not going to start off with that question. They say, Dave, if you chop that nose off, he said you might come in a close second.
That's right. Brian, if we can fit you all in the screen, we may vote for you too. Wait, how are we knocking ourselves all of a sudden?
I don't know. It takes a
and
village.
like Mary Hintz, it takes a village.
Seriously, ask them why they quilt. What pleasure do they get out of it? What does it do for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a good question, Dave. That's a great question to ask. So let's start off with this. Out there for everybody's watching, give me a few reasons, and I know you have in a comment section below. Give me a few reasons or a reason that got you started quilting in the first place. Give me something.
Was it a relative? Was it something you saw? Was it something? Yeah. Was it unfortunately maybe it was a death in the family, or was it something somebody gifted you, and you're like, how did this happen and how did this create? I know that when I was growing up, my grandmother would make me quilts, and I didn't have any idea that she made them. I was so young. I was like, who? And then I found out she did, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, then I guess it doesn't take that much to do one. I guess. Wrong. After doing
hours.
That's just nothing but love when you put into it.
Hey, listen, let's talk about the expense of it. The expense is not in the fabric.
And they hardly, and y'all know what I'm talking about here when we say this.
Diana says my grandmother.
Absolutely,
see, there we go.
That was the point that I was getting at.
I wanted to make something for my daughters to remember me. Yeah, see, that's exactly.
That's a legacy thing.
That's a legacy. I've got my grandmother's quilt still. It's old, and I can't use it as a cover anymore. I guess I can get it repurposed, or what do you call it? Refurbished?
Yeah, you get it.
But I don't want to. I want the imperfections in it now because I stretched it or I ripped it as a kid or something. But man, I'll never let go of it.
No, I tell you what. I have a quilt that I don't know if he's watching, but Mr. Greg McCarthy made me for my new house. Hey, Mr. Greg, if you're watching, but he made me a quilt, and I have it in my foyer, and it is a picture of a shepherd. and it's got a biblical story on there, and absolutely love it. And it
Nice.
matches great in my foyer.
Yeah.
I actually painted my foyer
around the quilt.
Around the quilt.
That
Yeah.
means that's saying something.
Yeah.
And so like I'll tell you this, even though I made my first quilt and with Miss Diana, and thank you, love you for life. It means a lot to me. Now Diana was probably obviously the big part of that quilt for sure.
Yeah,
Obviously
yeah,
the
yeah.
most part of it. But for me to learn and educate myself of what your passion and what's your projects and how y'all do them, I have such a vastly more appreciation for what the process is now than I ever have before. I knew how to do a quilt. I know how to make a quilt. I knew how all that works. Now me doing it, actually and physically doing it, completely blew my mind.
You want to talking about being inspired? So Larry Christensen says a random stop on a road trip to the Quilt Museum in Paducah, Kentucky. Brian and I go to Paducah I have not been in about 7 years, but we have been to Paducah, either him or I, the last 25 years.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, if you've never experienced going to a quilt show such as Paducah, or such as the Houston Quilt Festival, or such as any big show like that, if you've never experienced that, you're missing out. If you ever get the opportunity to go to one of these quilt shows, to see some of these, and notice I'm calling them works of art, to see some of those works of art, it's absolutely insane
breathtaking
with their skill level. So
the first
that's a
time I
great
went to Paducah, I mean, like I was there to do my job, sell our workstations and tools and stuff.
It used to be about the money.
I didn't care, and then I didn't care about the quilt museum that was there. Had no care for it. And then I was like, we went, and so when I went in there, I was like, okay, now this is a different breed of every single thing in here, and I'm like, someone actually did that?
Oh yeah,
That's
a
a
painting.
machine didn't do this.
That's a painting.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's now you want to talk about, man. That's
why I tell everybody
still
keep bullet
stellar. And
journals.
they switch these things out each and every year.
It's
in
crazy.
Paducah.
It's crazy. Katrina, I was in an argument with Brian Jordan.
No,
and
it says such an 18-wheeler.
I was in an argument with an 18-wheeler and lost. My neighbor came to hospital and asked me to sew on the binding. That's pretty unique, Katrina. I have to say.
Wow, that's a first timer. I like that.
Miss
I've done
Roxanne
3,
said, "I've
but
only
want to
done 3,
learn
but
free motion quilting."
I'm your man. I'm your man for FMQ, Miss Roxanne."
Miss Paris says she moved away from her family after she got married, and she wanted something for her time because she missed them.
Oh yeah, that's a really good way to kill time too. And you know what? That's a good point, Dave, because when you're making a quilt, you can go getting so entrenched in the creativity aspect where time can almost be forgotten.
That's right.
The land of unforgotten time, right? You get so entrenched in doing that quilt, and you get so honed in, and so. How many times you heard somebody cutting themselves with a rotary cutter at 2 or 3 in the morning?
Yeah,
right?
you know why?
They're tired. Fatigue sets in. Yeah.
And it's because they get
passionate.
Yeah, well, it's like anything that, like, okay, say like me and you, what we do at kind of when we get wind down, when we finally get done talking to everybody that we love, we may go look at some news networks or something. Me and you have similar interests and tastes, and so we'll look up and it'll be 1 or 2 in the morning, right?
I'm on the Martelli Quilters group, and I'm looking at all these.
I mean,
like, holy
doing
cow.
this, and we do a lot of that as well. And then we look up, it's because something we're doing we love. These quilters are actually physically doing something, and then they look up and it's 2 or 3. Or I've gotten this from y'all too. Hey Brian, I'm not too happy with you right now. And I go,
What
what
now?
did I do? Because we had a trade show and they came back the second day at the trade show and they're like, well, I want to get a workstation, but I'm not happy with it. I'm like, oh Lord, I know it. It's pricey, but you're just going to be no. I'm buying the workstation. That's not it. I was up till 3 in the morning looking at all the videos
And
that
I
y'all
can't
do.
figure
and
out what I want. I've heard it a million times.
You know it.
Oh yeah.
And so
That's a good one though. That's one that makes you feel really
Yeah,
good. Hey,
you're
our
doing something right.
products are changing lives.
That's right.
So
truly changing lives now.
how many times you heard this story, Brian? As somebody somebody that is out there selling these products, how many times you hear this story? I couldn't quilt anymore, and I showed the doctor the cutter, and now I can quilt again. He's letting me cut again.
Or people that have hard
arthritis,
or can't stand for long periods of time, and there's nothing out there for them that can work around them with tools that won't slide and workstations and stuff. Hey, it's the most rewarding position you can ever have is to sell something for Martelli.
Oh man! Oh yes!
Now it's the family, so now it's like I'm
part of them.
Really selling for ourselves now.
Yeah,
it's so great, and I'll tell you this, and you know this as well. That feeling never gets old.
Larry Christensen said 5 hours of Martelli minutes. You poor soul.
Yep.
I bet you know a lot though. Listen, and when you watch those Martelli minutes, one of the funny things about those is we had to put so much information into 1 minute. It's called a Martelli minute, right? I watched the Curve Master yesterday. Have you ever seen the Curve Master one? And I'm like, I don't think I retained any. The Curve Master was not a product for a Martelli minute. I can tell you that.
Nope.
Because there's so much to know about that foot. And
you should have done a minute telling them where to go to watch the video.
Yeah, I'm going to back off for 1 second.
Go ahead.
I want to talk about this. So just recently, I've been tasked or asked to get some more salespeople in here for trade shows. But here's what I'm getting at. One of the biggest things that I try to tell myself, I know what allows sales reps to be able to sell for Martelli. One of the biggest things is putting in the missing blanks in people's mind. Tell me how or why your product does what it does. Because how many times, let me give you this analogy. Let's say for the sake of argument that you go to a fair, a county fair, right? And like, all right, step right up and take these little things and cover these circles up. And they do it 2 seconds. You know, the little circle, and you got 5 little pieces that you have to cover that circle up.
Yeah.
And you can never, there's always a little piece showing, so you always lose. Right? Or how about the ladder one? He goes, step right up and go up this ladder, ring the bell, and you win this big bear. Right?
Yeah. So, or throw the ball in the basket.
The guy runs right up, rings the bell, no problem. Or throw the ball in the basket. No, but when you try to go up the ladder, or you try to throw that ball in the basket, or you try to cover it, it never works, right? There's the reason why, and I know that's a huge analogy to try to get what I'm driving home, point that I'm getting at with the Martelli products. When you go to these trade shows and these people, these show presenters, and they're showing you the products. There's little tricks, tips, and techniques.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, if you watch them at a show, you go home, you expect to be able to do what they do. You will never be able to do it unless you know how or why things work the way they work. So in part of my training program, when I bring new reps, and this is coming full circle, when I bring a new rep on and I train them, I make them understand why things are the way they are. Point in case, let me give you an example, right, Brian?
Yep.
So we were talking about strip rulers, and I had a training section about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, and I brought some of the new reps in. I said, okay, why is it important for you to explain to the strip ruler that ours has no gaps? Brian, could you grab a strip ruler?
Yeah.
Is there one in here? So when you buy an acrylic ruler, every single acrylic ruler in the world has those wide gaps in there, and they put those wide gaps in there so when you set your blade on the inside of that gap, your blade can move like this, right? So I want you to think of something logically. So if you're using a strip ruler that is a non-Martelli strip ruler, it slides all over the place, and it has big wide gaps where the strips are. If your blade can do this while you're doing this, what does that do to your accuracy? What does it do? It kills it, right? So I'm going to let Brian real quick. Dave, we get a close-up of Brian. Brian, explain to them, and this, I'm giving you an example here.
Zero tolerance is a real thing. What you're talking about zero tolerance.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So on this strip ruler, you can't see through it, okay? On other strip rulers, what they do is they allow a little bit of tolerance, and it may be just a microscopic tolerance, but if you can put a rotary cutter blade in there and feel a toggle at any time, that is inaccurate. You see how you can see my white shirt?
Over-exaggerate that, Brian. Over-exaggerate the gap.
So look, okay? So there's a gap, right? That's a big old gap right there. And a lot of strip rulers that are plastic, acrylic, and all that stuff that's out there have these gaps so that you feel free that you're inside that groove. Well, now you're bouncing around these edges. There's no accuracy built into that. When I close this up and you see zero tolerance inside this ruler right now, You can't see any white between this, and that's why we cut this with laser machines. In fact, the cool thing about this, David, is when you put our rotary blade in here, because you need, I always suggest using a Martelli cutter with this because it's the depth. It opens up.
Yes,
the cutter.
It opens it up.
It
forces to keep the cutter perfectly straight up and down, always using the razor
forces
point.
you to cut a straight line, perfect and accurate.
Full circle though, right? So one of the points that I was getting at is we want everybody, and this is kind of the experience that we're trying to talk about with the social media thing that we're doing. We want everybody out there to know the hows and the whys.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if you know that, guess what? When you buy a system, the Martelli system, and you go home and use it, will you be able to use it if you know why something works the way that it does, or if you just saw somebody else using it? There's certain ways that you have to do everything. So if you know the hows and the whys, it makes it that much easier for you to enjoy your experience. And that's one of the things that we're really, really looking to start doing. Okay,
but that's standard with all your products.
That's every
The whole
product,
thing
yeah.
comes from that point of view.
Yeah, that was just kind of the demonstration
This
and
is
example.
a perfect example of what you're saying. I mean, the little point of a zero tolerance ruler, and the reason why when new reps come in, we want them to know and reflect that zero tolerance is a huge thing, and that's why that little bit of know-how is everything in the world.
Constant and variable. That's a whole
Constant and variable is another one.
We could say about 30 or 40 minutes on constant and variable.
We could.
You know, maybe we need to start doing some of these on our quick videos and getting the hows and the whys.
Would y'all want to see that? Let's talk about that. Hey, give us some things. Let's see. Wait. Once you get the information on our teleproducts work, you are hooked. And as a side, become a member of the Martelli. That's right.
So
Shirley Covert,
let's
you
read
do
that
know
again
that.
where people can hear that. So Miss Shirley Covert said, once you get information on how the Martelli products work, you are hooked. And as a side, become a member of the Martelli family. Absolutely. I don't care if you're blood related or not. We have so many people that come in the storefront and hang around.
They're family to us. We go give them a hug every time we see them. We love. They come in every week.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see. You know, I guess you're regulars, but they're not regulars. That's our extended family. When they come, hey Brian, how are you doing? How's the girls? You know, that other stuff. I mean, it's just. It's exactly what you would ask a family member.
So let's go back a second that you were just talking about. Hey, you know, tell us what you think about doing these quick, doing these quick videos. One thing that I wanted to mention on that point, I don't know, Brian, I'm sure you've heard this too, because you're one of our top reps, if not our top rep, depending on who you ask what the day is or what the event is. But putting all that aside, I've had people up in the past when I go to shows, Dave, you're an absolutely amazing. I tell them it has nothing to do with my sales ability.
No.
It has everything to do with the product knowledge that I have.
I'm showing you how this product works.
Yes.
Now, I may be excited and believe in, I mean, I may have all the excitement that you want to see, and it's because of the belief in the system is actually true.
Well, why do you believe in it though?
Because it works.
Yeah. So in order for it to work, what does that say about your
I mean,
knowledge?
if I'm blowing smoke, I'm not going to have all that.
You have
vigor.
to know what you're talking about.
Like when somebody, and I hate to say this, I'm going to say it. When I go to a trade show, when I talk to somebody, and somebody walks away and it's not their time to buy something, I get it.
Yes,
I get it.
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, they just don't know what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
And they finally get it, and they come back and tell me how rewarding it was, and they wish they had it 2 years ago when they thought.
I know what Brian was going to say. Brian didn't say what he was wanting to say. I'm going to tell you what Brian was going to say, and I'll go ahead and say it.
Go ahead.
When you're at a trade show and you're pumped up and you give a demo, and then that customer walks away, you're like, in a nice way, you're not putting it off on the customer. You're like, they're crazy. They're absolutely insane that they didn't buy it. I cannot believe that they didn't buy it. What are they thinking? And that's a confidence level the sales reps have. The reason why we have that is because we know the whys and the hows and the how comes.
We know each feature. We know each feature and the benefit off of that feature. There's not just a feature. There's benefits off every single thing that we do, and there's almost endless benefits. Yeah. But it's so amazing to answer questions that you never thought you'd be able to answer when it comes to Martelli products, and a lot of it is what we want to know, what we want to show you, and let you integrate in between the eyeballs or the ears here. is the product knowledge in each and every tool that we have.
So, Miss Jocelyn, Miss Catherine Johnson, hello, Martelli team. You know I had started a dialogue with your service department. After I answered the question, I never heard from them again at Talking Martelli. Miss Jocelyn, write my phone number down. I'm not understanding what you're saying, but I will make sure that gets handled. Write my number down. 850-512-2222. That is my personal cell phone number. 850-512-2222.
Yeah.
Don't call me now because obviously I'm on the live, but when I get done, call me so I can understand what you're saying. But I will get you
We'll
for sure
have
taken care of.
that figured out here in just a second.
Yeah,
we don't
for
play
sure.
around with customer service,
No.
everybody. And everybody that understands that and has gotten to us know.
Yeah.
My Martelli, here's Amy Zeller's. My Martelli system, table, cutter, mats, rulers, make it possible for me to succeed. My spine can handle cutting with all of the ergonomics, and I cater to that word every single time I do a demo. I will talk to you about your hands, your neck, your shoulders, and your back, and I will explain how every one of these tools can help every single one of those elements, each and every time on the smallest to the biggest projects.
It's great to see people coming back and being able to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Just because
Like the
we're-
one that broke, like the Katrina, I broke my back in 9 places in both
Oh.
knees, was in the hospital 18 months. You know, you're not going to ever come back from that fully.
No,
I mean,
no.
So why not have the right tools in your hands to help alleviate any of that, make that a little less, less stressful for you.
So we talked about the hows and the whys. So Diana Bullington said the hows and the whys are the exact reason when I finally figured out how to use my 60 millimeter.
That's
rotary cutter.
right.
Something as little as that, though. Think about this, right? Let's say you have a 45 or a 60 millimeter, and let's say you're cutting in the middle of your body, like you're currently cutting back right now. I've had people
Just had
come
the
back to the
customer out
trade
there,
show.
told her, and I went over that with her, just like you talk about.
There's people at trade shows will come back to me like, "Oh, I have your cutter and I hate it." First thing I do is I put it in their hand and show me how you're using it, please.
Before
I already know what they're doing.
Them.
I already know what they're doing, but I don't want them to. I want them to show themselves what they're doing, because once they pick it up and they start using it, and then I show them the correction, then they'll always remember it's part of the hows and the whys, right? So the first thing that I do is, okay, can you please show me how you're using this? First thing they do is they pick it up. They typically don't even have their finger in the right place, but then the first thing they do is right here in the middle of their body.
Yeah.
They'll get on their tippy toes. They'll put all the pressure on it down, and they'll do this right here. I'm like, that's why you don't like it, because that's not the proper way to use it.
Trying to use it like a standard rotary.
They're trying to use it like a standard rotary
glorified
cutter.
pizza cutter.
If you try to use it like a standard rotary cutter, you're going to get your standard results.
That's right.
Which
Yep.
stinks, right?
Yep.
You want to cut out here because our stuff never slips and slides, and you cut on. Well, everybody here watching already knows
The
that.
big 3 cutting system is all you need to know. I explained this.
It's an amazing video.
It's funny how people go, I don't like it. They'll go, and there's not many people, but you do get occasional, and I love it when they come up to me and say this too. I go, this is a great, everybody watching here, watch this. What was your question, ma'am? They'll go, why is it my cutter doesn't work? Hey, everybody, did y'all hear how she said that with her cutter? This is a great explanation to go over what David just said. Shoot from the hip. You'll be at 90 degrees. Don't cut the middle of your body. If the good Lord wanted an arm in the middle of my body, he would have put it there. Right? That's what Scott White used to always
Yeah.
say.
Well, you got that from me.
He did,
You got
didn't
that
he?
from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So let me. Are you? did
Another
I
one?
cut you off?
Yeah, no, yeah.
So Miss Jocelyn, you said talk to Martelli. I was the one that had my question on the 6700, right? Okay. So this is one of the things that we're also trying to clean up. We have so many different platforms. Like, I'll give you a couple examples. Now, like, we have the Martelli Quilters group, and then we've just started like 8 or 9 other private groups. So it's hard to monitor all these things.
We're going to streamline that. I think.
Yeah, we're going to try to streamline. And then we have, 3 or 4 talking shows now. So there's it's stuff all over the place. So we're hopefully, Laura can come in and try to. But anyways, part of your comment where you said I got with dialogue started with the service department. We have so many different things. We're not monitoring them all. I hope you would, on the 6700, call me. I will get that directly handled through my personal phone number, because if you're trying a dialogue in one of these groups that's not being monitored, it might be a while before someone gets back. That's one of the issues that we're trying to clean up
We
within the company.
always monitor the quilters group.
Yeah, if it's always monitor the quilters group. There's always somebody on that.
And let me tell you something. If we hadn't gotten back to you, and some of our groupies go in there, like Amy and Diana and all those,
They'll take care of
They will get with us to get with y'all if we hadn't talked to you in the next 30 minutes.
Yes. That's one thing I love about the Martelli Quilters Group. It's 2 years old, and we have 7,000 people in there. And all the people that we have in that group are absolutely brilliant.
And they're wonderful.
And they're wonderful people. they're awesome sewers and quilters, but they're even better people, and they will go out of their absolute way to help anybody at all, any question, even the long arms.
Hey,
the
Larry.
Martelli long arms.
Larry blew out the 60 millimeter.
You need to go to that group and learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's another good point that Dave just brought up. See, this is one of the reasons why I love Dave and Jimmy so much. They bring in a lot of points that sometimes we forget to talk. Sometimes people get intimidated, right? So if they want to be part of a quilters group, like, well, I see all that work and all that work is so awesome. Like, I'm not posting my stuff up there. No way. I'm not getting laughed at.
Do it. It's nothing but love in there. Just like the customer that was just in here before I got here 5 minutes. She's making her first quilt, and she's going to do it for her husband, and she needed jelly rolls.
Yep,
That's the one. And so we were helping pick her out and all that stuff, and we were going to get it done. And she was like, well, what do I do? And I was like, you know what? I said, here's a great resource for you. Go to the Martelli Quilters group. I'll go and accept you right now. So I go and accept her. I said, you can get so many ideas from somebody. And let me tell you, there is no critiquing as far as mean critiques.
Well, listen, and I'm gonna add to a little bit further what Brian just said. One thing that I will not tolerate is anything that's negative. I don't care who you are.
You are gone.
You gotta go.
You're gone.
And you know what?
We have zero tolerance in that.
In 2 years, very good, Brian. Shout out in 2 years. I think there's only been one circumstance where I've had to suspend somebody. In 2 years. Think about that. 7,000 people in 2 years, and I've only had one incident that I can recall.
And that was quick and it was just quick and
done. So we're here to love one another. We're here to lift each other up. We're here to create a positive environment.
Vibe, positive energy. Stay positive. I mean, hey, somebody may need help in something. They're not new. Like, I guarantee you, I posted my quilt up there. Now, I had the great Diana Bullington helping me, but I can say it. So Miss Wanda, who's out there, if you watch later, hello, welcome to the group. She may have been nervous about posting something. Now she's not going to be. I've comforted her on, look, you've got every right to put anything. And the ideas that flow out from everybody that gets in that group is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Man, if we ever have a question that needs to be answered,
I don't worry about it.
How long does it take?
Oh, 30 seconds. I had somebody, and somebody, I'm not going to say somebody, I'm going to say several people in the last few months said, Dave, they'll come into the storefront and they're like, you must be Dave. Yeah, I'm Dave. I've heard so much about this quilting chair. Will you tell me a little bit about it? I said, I can tell you all you want to know about it. And I'm going to tell you, I use mine, rain, snow, or shine, right?
Yep.
I use one of my sewing chairs. But that wasn't my point. My point was, like, will you tell me about it? I was like, yeah, but let me tell you where to go. Go to the Martelli Quilters group and post a comment and ask.
We're selling it.
Yeah, it's that. And at the end of the day, Brian and I know we're salespeople. We're very passionate about our products. Please don't make any mistake.
That's what the word I was looking for.
Yeah, we're passionate about our products, but at the end of the day, we're still salespeople. So if somebody wants to know about a product, is there going to be more validity if I tell them about my chair?
Yep.
Or if you tell them about my chair?
It's going to be about our extended family. That's why I tell everybody at a trade show, even the new people coming, I said, look, if somebody comes by, and y'all know what I'm talking about, y'all been to the trade shows, and y'all are the ones doing this. If somebody comes by and says something about the workstation, there's one thing you need to do. Shut up.
Yeah.
Let the customer talk. This is exactly why we don't advertise.
Yeah, that's what I teach my sales reps. If you are right in the middle of a demo and a customer comes up that has the workstation and they start talking about it, you instantly zip it. Because there's so much more validity in the customer than the salesperson. So, you know what I call you? My sixth man in basketball terms.
It's the sixth man. They win the sixth man award every year.
Every year. The customers are the sixth man in the Martelli Enterprises company.
You need that.
I wish I could hire every single one out there. They're all so fantastic.
They're amazing, and it makes, I'll tell you what, it really helps us out when we're doing lives and all that stuff. I know we're going off on tangents in here. We're talking about marketing. Well, let's talk about it. Y'all are one of the reasons why Martelli is so successful is because we don't have to advertise. You are the whole advertisement that we have. It's so fantastic to see an extended family like that.
And we listen to your ideas to make things better.
Well, half of the ideas that we've already have come from
David had a new set of recruits come in. We call them recruits. He's like, so what's the one, how do you think most of these products come? And they could not answer. They're like, well, great ideas, innovative, this, that, and the other. Brian, where do we learn the most from? And I said, them, meaning the quilters. Yep. I said, them. If you will listen to what they want and they need, we can provide that for them. I said, sometimes we need to be quiet and listen to what the people are saying instead of what's the
Then I said,
word?
give me
God gave us 2 ears instead
yeah,
of 1 mouth.
Yeah, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. So Brian, give me the answers to the test back, dude. You're done. No, but Brian is very fantastic in his own right. I think there's some people that are just born with the ability to be able to present things to other people, and Brian's one of those people. And those people are really hard to come by. But there's other people that you have. They can't be taught. It's just a process.
Yeah.
Some people are born with it. Some people can be taught, and then some people.
But we want the right ethical people too. I mean, we have standards here, and we want the right ethical people, the ones that
and few people are as handsome as Brian.
That's true. I mean, that's we can't do anything about that, Dave.
Amy Zeller's made a really good point. She said this only works because we know the products, meaning the customers.
Right.
And that they work. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why we spend the time with Martelli Quilters Group. Oh, let's bring it back just a little bit.
Yeah.
This is something that I want to talk about. We started talking about the Martelli Quilters Group. One of the things that Brian and I discussed with Lawyer in a meeting, and Marcia Martelli, which is my mom. No disrespect by calling her Marcia, but just so
they know her
knows.
as Marcia.
Yeah,
Marcia,
you know her as Miss Marcia. I know her as Mom. We sat in a meeting and we were really brainstorming. And one of the things that we really wanted to focus our attention on is the social media. In that social media platform, one of those things is Martelli Quilters Group. And we are underutilizing that platform to do quick new videos out. So we're talking about doing daily videos, putting more content on the Martelli Quilters Group, and doing some special things for the Martelli Quilters Group.
And I asked the Martelli Quilters Group a little while ago, and then I got kind of shut down on it by another group or whatever. Yeah. But I was like, hey, how'd you guys feel about a quick little video that, either David or David and I or myself or one of that we do every week for you here, and we would love it. We want that. So it's already been answered by them that we should do it, and the idea was tabled for a second.
So
it's not tabled anymore.
I'm gonna throw this out there, and I don't care when you watch this video. Okay, you could watch it next week, next year. You're gonna watch it. So one of my questions to you is, anybody that knows me, I'm very transparent. I give my phone number out. I want to be able to have you be able to reach me anytime, day or night. I want to be accessible to not just the group, but my entire quilting family, i.e. you, right?
Yes.
So my number is 850-512-2222. Again, 850-512-2222. The reason why I'm giving you that number is I want to get some feedback from every single person watching this video, no matter when you're watching, even if it's a year from now.
If it's a year, you're listening to it for the first time, please reach out.
If you have any ideas that you would like to see come to fruition on the Martelli Quilters Group, maybe it's a demo hour, or maybe you want to see a little contest, a monthly contest that we can do, and we can vote kind of like American Idol, and everybody posts, and then we have somebody eliminated.
Yeah, we can do that.
Do that.
Do me sing.
Oh yeah.
But we can do that. Never.
There's just any idea that you might come up with that you might think's a really good idea for the Quilters Group. We're all ears. We're not the be all end all.
Dave, you just reached onto something. We may have something here. What about Quilters Idol?
No, I already tried that in a book. I'll tell you a story about that in a minute. But before I do, I have to mention this. The irony, Miss Elaine Costello said, Dave, you have always been there for me if I have a problem. The funny thing is, she called me today and I forgot to call her back. Miss
Eileen, my number's 850-232-3714. I will call you back.
Miss Costello, when you put that, I just remember, I'm like, oh crap, she called me and I forgot to call her back. I think I forgot. Maybe I did call you back. Let me I'll double check.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miss Elaine, you're right. 99.99% of the time, I will call you back or take care of
That's true, though. I'll have to give him on this. I can't harp on him on this.
Sometimes I do forget.
There's a lot going on. We have meetings all day today, y'all. We have meeting. So it's hard for David to get in, and
will you let me know, Ms. Costello? Did I take care of you today? Because if I did, I don't remember. So please let me know real quick. Charity quilts, that's great. Charity products.
We talked about doing a charity thing as well, a giveaway, a charity giveaway. Remember that? I can't remember what it was, but we're on the works on that as well.
Yep. 6700P virtual class. We can do that. We can do that.
Something we should get into is virtual
Sewing
classes with
machine classes,
Al
I
and
can do that.
Chris and
Yep.
you. I mean,
That's another thing that we've been talking about here, pushing people to the right locations. You know, we're a storefront, we sell machines here, and we want to make sure that if you're wanting to purchase a machine, or we have a new table coming out that, oh, I saw it today, boy. I have to stop for a second, I have to tell you this. So we finally saw the new table today. So our new sewing table, I just saw it again today, and it's finished, but man, my dad is a genius. The table does first of all, your sewing machine, no matter what sewing machine you have, it fits inside the table, right? So the table goes, so the sewing machine is always flush. It's this size right here. So it's always flush. The table goes up and down, and then the table tilts front to back. So
it's like this way?
So let's talk about embroidery. Yeah. So your sewing machine is flush, it's flat, and your whole table tilts towards your face.
So our cutting, here's the difference in this. This is the difference how beautiful this is. Your cutting table is meant to tilt end to end for length and getting to reachability. The sewing table doesn't need to do it that way. The sewing table needs to pull you up right in front of you so that you get that length with your sewing machine, because you may have the big daddy with the embroidery attachment, right?
Well, I was just about to tell you. So sorry.
Go ahead. No, I mean that's the beauty. That's the difference. Is why both of them are so intriguing, and both of them are equally as great.
Awesome. So even if you had an embroidery unit, right? Even if you had an embroidery unit, so it sits flush. You have on your remote, it moves 6 directions. So the whole table goes up and down. Then the table tilts front to back. But here's the most ingenious feature at all. Then the actual machine moves up and down. So if you have an embroidery unit, you can take it, it's flush with the table, you push it up so it comes up just a little bit. Then you can tilt the whole machine towards you, so now you can embroider, so your machine's looking like a book, so you're watching your embroidery like you're reading a book.
What if you're free motion quilting on that?
You can do free motion quilting like that. Everything's tilted.
It's like riding a bike.
The whole surface is tilted, even in your embroidery. So now I had some people say, "Well, Dave, your embroidery, the embroidery book says your table has to be flush to the surface." What they're telling you is, if your surface is flush and your machine is crooked, it's going to hit the table. But if your whole surface is tilted exactly as your machine,
the machine still thinks it's flush.
Yes,
it does not matter.
Yes. What they're saying is your embroidery needs to be flush to the surface it's on.
The machine don't know which way it is, everybody. You know that, right?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
The machine doesn't know. So as long as the machine is parallel to the surface it's on. So, and I've used this with my machine, my large machine tilt. I can't tell you how many embroidery designs we've done with the sewing machine on my machine tilt, because it's tilted to the surface, so it has plenty of room. But anyways, that button, Brian, you can push it. I saw it today, so cool. You can push it, so that way if you want to bring it up like 2 inches, now you can use your embroidery unit on your table too.
So that was the question, that if Miss Peg is watching, that I told her to hold on for, because this table was coming out, that I would get her one when it comes out. I didn't know the range of motion. It has another range of motion. I didn't know. Peg, you're going to be floored. You're getting that.
I'm going to tell you right now. I've been waiting on this table for 4 years. My dad is super busy in his defense, and he's only one man, right? But I've had this request 4 years ago, and I bet he's amazing. And I went to him, I said, "Dad, we really need this table, get time." I have a waiting list of probably, I'm going to say between 50 and 75 people that already want it.
Yeah.
Haven't even seen it. They just know our tradition based off of what John Martelli has made and manufactured in the past. They already know what the table's going to be. But I'm telling you, I saw it today, and
as a sales rep, I'm in love.
Yeah, and it's a piece of furniture, but the beauty of it, you're looking at, it's going to be $5,000. We'll run some specials on it, but it's going to be about $5,500, $5,000.
I mean, with the range of motions,
well, there's 6 actuators.
I mean, it has to.
There's 6 actuators. 6.
It needs
the
6.
table moves up and down, 2 actuators. The front that tilts, that needs 2 actuators. The machine that moves up and down on the inside of the table is 2 actuators.
You want height,
so
you want
it's got everything.
Length, you got everything.
You can quilt standing up, free motion quilting standing up, you can do embroidery standing up, you can do embroidery sitting down. You can do regular sewing, you can do sewing on a tilt, you can do sewing on a tilt standing.
You can do sewing on a budget.
You can do
quilting on a budget.
Yeah. You can do so much with this, and this is going to be our new one. I'm really excited about this.
I hope you will put wheels on your new sewing table.
It already has wheels.
Already got you.
And it's got the big ones like our cutting table.
Come on, Eileen.
Come on, Eileen.
You know they're going to have wheels.
You know they have wheels.
I just put that in there. I'm sure she's never heard that.
Did you really say, "Come on, Eileen"?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do have some wheels. Yeah.
It'll always have wheels. Oh!
All right. So let me answer this. Miss Christian, I've been waiting on such a table. Does it have
I did
inserts
see
available?
that.
Yes. The insert. So all we need from you, so somebody's new to this table, all they have to do is give us their machine that they have. And then there's a place that I go and say, yeah, I want to, well, I can't give this part of the secret away. We can get like every single cutout is 1x2, right? But every single machine is different. So long story short, after you tell me what machine you have, I make the insert for your
That's it.
machine. But the table, any sewing machine in the world that is a domestic sewing machine can fit in this table. And then we make the
All
inserts.
we're going to do is get the spec from you of
From
what
your
machine
machine.
you have,
Yep.
and now it's a simple. That's a internal, and it's get this though. Every one of these tables are going to be made per your spec, which
Yeah.
is nice. I mean, the standard's going to be there, but the insert's going to be just for you.
Yep. So if you have
And you can
15
get multiple inserts, right?
Yeah. So if you have another machine,
Yeah.
or you want
That's
to
the
change
beauty of
it,
it.
say you bought a table, right? Say you bought a table, and you have, let's say you have the Janome M7, right?
Right.
And you have the table, and let's say, okay, I'm selling my Janome M7, and I want to go to a Baby Lock such and such. You call us up and say, hey, I have your table. I just bought a new machine, so I need the insert for such.
There's
and such.
not another table having to be purchased. You're just buying
Correct.
a different insert.
An
You keep-
insert.
what if you keep the N7 and you got multiple machines? You just want that in there at that time. You got a big project that you work. Everybody works with different
Brian, that
projects.
is a really good point. Say
I'm
you
tell-
want to do some free motion quilting. You
It's
want
an
the M7?
It's basically
It's
you're
an
going to get an
attachment.
attachment, and you can get multiple attachment. However many machines you have that many attachments to.
And the table works the same exact way no matter what machine is in there. So
Absolutely.
you just get the different inserts.
And so Miss Katrina, or who said no, Miss
That's
Catherine Jolson, I want a table that can go up and down while my machine sits flush in it. So if that
We already have it. It's
hang
just not
tight,
done.
Catherine.
we're
It's
talking-
coming out.
We're talking about weeks away. We're
Yep.
talking about, and I will have it in Mobile, Alabama, at a trade show if you're anywhere close. And we're going to start bringing them to trade shows too. So keep that in mind.
Yep.
We will start bringing these new sewing tables to trade shows.
So I would have waited and gotten this instead of the second cutting table. No, Patricia, you want that cutting table.
So Miss Katrina, my neighbor passed away and her husband. I hate that Martelli binding system. I watched the YouTube videos. Let me tell you something. If you have the quick bind or the zip bind, okay, Miss Katrina, make that conversation for when you call me because there's so much involved. I need to find out what binding is it. The quick bind? Is it the zip bind? What pieces and parts?
That's a
do you
loaded
have?
question.
We're coming up with a new binder too, but we're going to save that one for when you call me, Miss Katrina.
M7 and a 1500. I hear you, people.
You get an insert. You can use it for both. Now you have to change the machines out, obviously,
Right.
but it's as quick as putting a new insert
That's
in there.
it.
So-
But at least you can label your insert however you want, and then
Miss Deesh, no, I'm really sad. I wish I would have waited and got this instead of the second cutting table. We do trade-ins. We do trade-ins all the time.
we can do.
If it's at a trade show or something, and we can do a trade-in.
Okay, if it's at a trade show, yeah. But here's the problem, and that's why I was talking to you the other weekend about how it wasn't possible for me to do that trade-in last week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it all depends. Well,
it all depends
it's
on
a
the
situation.
show, yeah.
It has to be situational. There's things. That's a very good point, Brian.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing that up to me. No, you can't always just come in and say, "Hey, I'm going to trade this in." The situation has to be right. The location has to be right. There's
Shipping
a price has
involved,
to be.
this,
There's a lot of variables, but I will tell you, just on the onset, sitting here talking,
If you were here locally,
Not a problem.
Not a problem. We have a
Yeah.
facility.
Yeah. Or if let's say we do a show, let's say we do a Houston show, and you're like, okay, I want to do a trade.
Yeah.
If we know ahead of time, and and the figures can work out, and the price range
And a lot
works,
of it is we're driving there too.
yes, and it's
And
not
I can take
shipping.
it back and make sure we refurb it correctly and all that
Correct,
stuff. Yeah.
correct. And then a lot of times too, it's like making sure it's in great condition.
Yeah.
But 99% of the time, everybody
So,
here keeps their stuff
unfortunately,
nice.
yeah,
But variables, right?
Yeah, there's variables. Like if I'm traveling to a one day show, like the customer was telling you about last week, we tried to work it out. It just there was no logistical way to do it.
If there's no logistical way, you might as well hang it up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there's got to be logistical make
No,
sense.
I mean, I could have said logistically you can send it to me, and that's just not going to be feasible.
Miss Christian said, "Put me on your waiting list." There's about 50 or 75, but please call me after the show, Miss Christian said, or can you write that down, Brian? Miss Christian.
Yeah, I got you.
And I'll,
Yeah.
I'll put it on my
We'll
list.
take care. Yep.
Okay, Miss Elaine Costello will be able to use our sergers with it. Yeah. If your serger has a different throat, I'm sure you can. My opinion is though, I don't think you want to put a $5,000 serger on a $5,000 table. But some people have it like that. If you want to do that, you can. I believe I'm 99% sure, but I'll check on that. As long as it has a throat. Yes, it does have a throat. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes, Miss Costello. You can. Miss Stewart, put me on the waiting list. Put Miss Stewart
Pamela.
on there. Yep, Miss Pamela Stewart. Catherine Jocelyn, you got to fix it so it can ship to Greenland. Oh, there's so many people.
I can
across the
set up a
country.
list if they want to text or something.
Yeah.
You want me to
He's
do
on
this?
vacation to Greenland and bring him with him.
And Kay said, need a stable at my house. Miss Roxanne, my husband asked why I need so
Don't
many
say that
machines.
too
My
loud.
answer
I
was,
want to.
they'll do- Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Roxanne, you're right.
Let's see. Don't say RC.
She has
All right.
a-
So
upset-
Ricky Stewart said they don't say that too loud.
Yes.
I
all
want
right.
2 tables.
All right, we'll
Thanks,
keep that
Ricky.
quiet. Yeah. And then maybe, Brian,
Put me on the way to see
and
Ellen.
here's another thing. If there's 2 or 3 of you, 4 of you here watching together, you know what? And you could maybe both of you want one. We can do a special
We can
deal.
you know what? How about this? Let's do this. I've got a list coming up. If you want to, I can put everybody on this list. David and I can get together and
add
we'll
mine on there. Yeah.
see.
And put Sue Ellen Quilts on the waiting list.
I got Sue Ellen on there.
Yep.
Because show in Branson next
Yes,
year.
we will have the
Katrina.
table there.
Yeah.
Yes, we will have that. Miss Katrina, we will have that show
Yeah.
in Branson. We sure will.
Yeah, more than likely I do all the AQS, but well, I don't know. Next year we'll see.
Yeah.
I may be too busy.
I've been pulling Brian away from the shows because I really need him here at this facility. We're growing at such a fast clip here at the storefront.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
But if I am there, y'all, that is a special treat. Y'all better come.
But
see me.
I did tell Brian, as far as the sales reps goes, Brian and I do a lot of the lives, so you just happen to see Brian and myself. A lot of the other sales reps we have are really, really good people. You don't get to
Fantastic
see them,
people.
but
If
we
you
have
see
some-
anybody out there that's out at the trade show, go give them the support.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
I mean, that's
absolutely,
how they
absolutely.
provide for their family too, as well. So please go support them. I mean, we have shows all over the country. We're starting to get more and more. So if you see some reps out there, and if, there may be some new ones, so maybe give them a little bit of leniency on this time.
yeah.
But if you see me there,
We're training some
we'll
new
take
ones.
care of you. All right.
So, and here's the thing too. We definitely want to come out and hug your neck. We
Yes.
have Joe Allen's another good one.
Joe is awesome.
If I have Brian doing some trade shows, I want to make sure if I don't have him and Joe Allen's available, I'll bring her on for a fabric sale, or I'll bring her on just to introduce her, or a Talking Martelli episode.
Yeah.
So
Was she- didn't
we
she come
support
on the
all of
other
our
day?
reps.
She
I think
did?
she. Oh yeah, she did.
yeah.
She did.
Joe was on the Talking Martelli.
She sure was. She
So
sure
I was
was. I
watching
forgot.
that, and I thought that's a great episode. So
Yeah.
Joe
That
Allen's
was with
wonderful.
Lynn.
Joe,
Yeah.
if you're watching, love you, girl. Hey, I think Joe Allen
Brian
and
said
I,
he hates working with. I'm just kidding.
Joe Allen and I think are going to Cincinnati, right?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I
The
don't
Cincinnati
have to
show, from what I think right now, we may be. I don't know.
But the point is, we have a lot of really good reps and a lot of new ones that are going to be trained. And Brian and I have talked, and I know I want to get out to start doing some more trade shows because it's been 6 or 7 years since I've seen some of you. And I really need to get back out there and start hugging some necks again. 'Cause
Yes.
It's been a long time, and I know people ask for us all the time. So we are going to make it an absolute point to do a couple of the big ones a year, so I can at least run into everybody and say hi to you and give you a big old hug and a big fat kiss on the cheek. So
Yeah, so normally in the spring, yep, Dinah's on that. So you got Pigeon Forge in Atlanta, or normally, I was in Atlanta this past spring. So we do have those shows, and I'm looking on the television, y'all. So if you need me looking over here, I'm just looking on our scroll.
Yeah,
I don't have my phone. I left my phone in the other room,
Yeah, Pigeon
and I had like
Forge.
2 minutes to go. Pigeon Forge is a great
Forge
show
a
to
good
go
one.
to.
I'll make sure I have that one. I might
Pigeon
even be
Forge
working.
will definitely be there.
Yeah, and I might even be working because we have that long arm that we have to show, and I really, really enjoy selling that long arm, and I'm very knowledgeable about it. So that's one thing. It's one of the things we don't have a lot of reps that are. We don't have any reps that are knowledgeable about the long arm. It's something that I've got to train
Yeah.
people on, and there's only one problem. There's only one of me to be able to train, so I can only do it in the time frame that I'm able to do it. My dad could do it too, but the problem
Yeah.
is the
Well,
way he
I'm hoping to
thinks,
get a
he
little
thinks-
knowledge so
yeah.
that I can show some people with some long arms if they're there, and if you're not there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, but we have a lot of stuff going. Guys, look, we have a lot of things going that are in the works. Very positive, and there's a lot of energy going in. We are excited. That's what's coming up.
I haven't been
in the
this
new
excited
year.
in a long time. I haven't been this excited.
This has been. I mean, let me tell you, this is moving forward. Is going to be good. So we got stuck with 2020. 2021's kind of been a rebuilding process, getting everything in the right position. Let me tell you, from here on out, the rest on moving forward. Holy
Yeah, we're going to
crap.
start advertising.
Hold on.
You know? Yep, we're going to start advertising. We haven't really been doing much of that, but we're going to really build this up as a community, and we're going to do this together. We're going to do it with you. We're going to do it with us, and we're going to do it with the people that we love most.
That's
and that's anybody
right.
that encompasses, the sewing and quilting world that loves Martelli products.
Stephen Norma Kaufman, will you be coming out to California? I think there's going to be
Yes.
one in Sacramento. I'm not going to that. And then there's always PIQF in
That's the
Santa
one that
Clara.
I want to do. That's the one I want to do.
You want to do it?
No, I want to do one of those shows out there. I don't know if it's PIQF in Santa Clara, but there's also another big one.
There's Santa Clara. That's
one near Los
That's
Angeles?
the big one. Oh, no, that's Road to California.
Road,
That's
yeah.
in the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Road. That's in January, right?
That's in January.
Yep.
January, early February.
I
January,
would
February.
love to do Road just to get out there.
Road
do one,
is a
at
big
least one
boy.
big one out west and one big one on the East Coast, just so I can make sure that I say hi to everybody.
Okay, so then we'll take care of you on that. We'll do, not PIQ, but Road to California. Get you to Paducah on the East Coast.
Oh my Lanta!
Oh, my Lanta. And then, how about the middle guys? Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
So
Yeah,
you've
Houston.
covered everybody. And if you want a little bit something up north, then I would say Madison.
Well, Miss Kaufman, I would love to go to Ontario, California. I thought you said Canada. I was like, last time.
That's Road to California.
Yeah, I was going to say, last time they let me in Canada, they said if I wasn't back there in 3 days, there was no getting out. So, my
Yep,
mom's like,
Steve
"Just stay here."
or Norma, that'll be next year. And from what I hear, I think it's on now.
What's that?
Road.
Yeah, a lot of good talk back. We're hoping
They didn't
to see
do it
that.
They did do it, but it was a virtual. Let me tell you.
I don't know. Let's get things wrapped up. So I want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you. I tell you every single week how much I love you, how much I adore you, and appreciate you. I know I'm speaking for me, but I'm probably speaking for everybody when I say that. You're such an intricate part of what we're doing here at Martelli, and without you, there is no us. So hopefully you can come along for the ride. We will start recognizing, especially on the fabric sales, we're going to start recognizing you more. Your name, if you have a comment. Matter of fact, Brian, I didn't tell you this, but one of my thoughts was, you know how we do the giveaways and we spin for it?
Yeah.
I would like to have, the big giveaway we do for the like, comment, and share, right? But I'm thinking, maybe the 4 comments that we pick throughout the show and we show that. We can do.
We can start doing that with a lot of it. Like, I like the idea of maybe having a monthly,
subscription.
Maybe a monthly, or like a monthly winner or something, like an idol situation.
Yes.
I like that idea.
Yep.
Like a quilter's idol, and we're not picking. We're just we're facilitating and showing it and getting it, and then everybody picks their winner, and now it's a true and good fashion.
So Miss Sue Ellen Quilts, when is Houston? Houston is every year. I think I've been out of
November.
Texas. No, October 31st. It's my birthday every single year. Halloween. I'm in Texas every single year for my birthday. But that is October 31st. That weekend. That is festival. And then coming to Portland, Oregon in December. I don't think so, Miss Roxanne. Portland doesn't sound familiar. And listen, I will tell you right now, from here to the first of the year, I'm going to be inundated with building our social media here. Well, I don't want to say building because that sounds like I'm doing it, and I'm not.
No.
We are going to be participating in building it together. And then the other thing is I'm training sales staff. I'm basically, COVID really decimated us, and I'm starting from scratch as far as the sales reps go. So I think I have like 3 sales reps, and I really need, 15, 20 of them.
There may be somebody out here who's got a relative that would be interested.
Yeah. Travel makes it tough, but that's another thing. That's a different story for a different day.
Yeah. It's going to be a good one.
Miss Zellers, that explains why. I hate Halloween. If you want to know the truth, Miss Zellers, I absolutely despise Halloween. I have to like it just because it's my birthday and everybody likes to say happy birthday. But, I'm not a big fan of Halloween, actually. There are a lot of comment on Facebook, and they are wondering if you are going to answer them. Dave, is there any questions? Have you been monitoring Facebook at all? Yeah, so that's another thing we're going to do. We're going to be monitoring.
People watching.
Yeah, well, no, it says there are a lot of comments.
That
on
explains
Facebook,
why
and
you
they're
like
wondering
Halloween
if
so
you're-
much.
Yeah. So if I only
Comments
have
on Facebook, they're wondering if you're going to. I don't have my phone. I usually do that
Brian usually
monitoring,
does it.
and I'm sorry, I haven't been doing that.
Well, he doesn't have his phone on him, but I am doing YouTube. If I missed you on Facebook, I promise I'm sorry.
They want to know when you're getting some more chairs.
Yeah, we have chairs in now.
Hey, I can just
If you want a chair-
call up here. Yeah, I can. I've got just a few left. If you'll put, hey, Dave.
Yeah.
If you'll put it on the both screen.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Brian. For everybody having to sit through and listen to you talk all day, I'm going to do something special. Okay, so we only have 3 colors here, okay, because we're out of almost everything. I have the plum color. No.
We
Oh
have,
no, we don't have that. We have silver, white, and rose.
Rose is a light
Pink.
green, like a pink, light pink, not green, a light pink, rose color.
Like a fuchsia, is it maybe?
Your chairs are rose.
It's
Yeah,
no, it's not.
It's a salmon salad.
Yes,
Salmon salad.
Salmon salad. Yeah. So I have white, silver, and the rose light pink, whatever
Salmon,
color.
it's called
wondering if
salmon.
there's
But anyway, here's the point. I want to do something special for everybody today. So if you're watching,
Yep.
I'm only going to charge how much? It's $400. We're going to do $275, and we're going to charge $35 for shipping.
So three.
About 305.
Carry the
305,
two.
right? He's going to say like
Carry
900.
the
999, yeah.
Niner. Got
Niners.
the niner.
There's no Niners in football.
So 315,
05.
Yeah, 305.
305.
Yeah. I think. Better check Dave's math because I just went by what he said.
75, 25,
Yeah.
30, 35. So it'd be 305. No, 310.
Yeah. So not 305.
So yeah. So no
310,
one-
folks. So you're getting a $400 chair for $310, and that includes the shipping just for this broadcast.
310. Okay, and
Call Brian and
850-542. Nope. You want, well, let's get it on. You got it on me? Or you got it on David?
It's not on the screen. I got you right now. Yep.
Oh yeah, just them.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna
So
give
we'll
you,
do
go ahead, Brian.
eight. Hey, if you want a chair, let's do this. 850-232-3714. You can get through it with me through the night as well. I'll take orders through the night, and then I will get with you, and that will be for 310. And then we'll go over. I'm gonna go in the back and look at inventory. Know if I have 7 of this, 8 of this or that. I will get the inventory. Text me. We'll get them out. I'll tell you this. There's not many left after the fabric sale.
I know the whole back of our warehouse is full, but we've had 3 sales since then. And
So
we're
if you
depleted.
want
I don't have
one
any-
until the next order gets in, and we
we
don't
don't
know,
have any teal, we don't have any plum.
No.
No teal, no plum.
No plum, no teal, and no lime green.
Yeah, no lime green.
So get with me, and we'll get to you then. But other than that,
And I
it's
don't
been
think-
fantastic.
I
I
don't
tell you
think,
what, man,
we
it
yeah,
flowed
good show.
pretty good.
Good show. It's 3:20. So we're going to tell everybody we appreciate y'all very much. We love you. We will see you Thursday. Please don't miss the fabric sale. It's going to be a slow fabric.
Yep.
Not slow. It's going to be a low volume fabric sale because we're out of fabric and a lot of fabric hasn't come in. But we still have some that my wife put aside. But we're only going to have one session. But we're going to do really well. We're excited. So we don't want to miss you. Hey, Mom, before you leave, hold on. We don't want to miss you. We'll see everybody this Thursday.
We'll see ya.
Martelli Enterprises Facebook page. We'll see everybody this Thursday from 1 to 7 Central Standard Time. And of course, we start off with the really good bundles, the first and the last. You're not going to want to miss that.
You're not going to want to miss it. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Thank you for always giving us your attention and your time.
See y'all next
Much love.
Thursday. Bye-bye now.